everyone, I'm the Kaiju no Kami with
Cruellica Kain,
and we are interviewing
Sarah Williams.
So for someone who might not know who you are you?
I do the voices. I've been in anime and video games, like Jinx from League of Legends, Sayaka Miki from Madoka Magica, Elizabeth from Sword Art Online, Nan from Kill la Kill, so on and so forth.
I have to say one thing that stuck out to me is I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan.
Ooh.
So what was it like to actually be the first time Sailor Stars was ever dubbed and getting to take on the role of Star Healer?
Oh, I don't even know. Like, Sailor Moon was my gateway anime. Like, that was the stuff I ran home after school in, like, second grade to start watching, because I grew up on that. I grew up on that old dub, and then, discovered the original version. I was like, oh, wow, there's more. Because the dub at one point stopped at the end of season 2, and I was oh, that's the end. I was like, oh my god, there's more? Oh. I was like, is it bad? Girl, I bought fan subs back when, before that became a taboo thing. I was like, I had, like, the whole, And then it started getting dubbed, and I was just like, there was that part of my poor little fangirl brain that was just like, how, someone tell me how to get into the studio. I wanna be in it so bad. But you can't do that, it's not professional, so it's just like, it's okay. If I'm patient and I just work hard, I'm sure someone will notice me. And it's like last season, I say to my agent, I was like, I really wanna, I point blank was like, I know I'm a nerd, but I really want to be in Sailor Moon. Can you get me in with the studio? Like, get me, at least so I can audition. And yeah, they talked to the studio, and I got the audition. So I was like, oh, thank you. Okay. And it was for the 3 Starlights and the big villain. I'm blanking on her name. Galaxia. And I think Princess Kaguya too. So. And a thing of like, okay, send it off, go, and I think I cried a little when I got the email saying, yep, you're a Sailor Star Healer. And it's just like, that thing of too, like, I think at one point I'd written like out a piece of paper, someone's like, you should write down your affirmations. And I have a whole sheet of paper being like, I would like to be this in this project and this, and just stored away in a box. And it's like, when it happens, I go out and I cross it off. And so I finally got that sheet out, and because I'd had it out since like, I think season 3. And I finally crossed out one. I was like, got one. It's like, yay! Yeah, it was amazing. It was like, I said it on Twitter, it's like my childhood came full circle. I was like, this was the one. This was the last one I was attached to in terms of things. It's like, because I don't let myself get attached anymore. Because it sucks when you don't get into it and you're attached to it. So it's like, that's the last one I was attached to. And it's like, I got the one I wanted, yes. Almost crying when I finally got to do the first transformation call out. I was just like, yes!
What I loved is all 3 of you that did the Starlights did an amazing job of doing the reflection voices to differentiate both personas of the characters.
And with me, I didn't have to stretch too far, because I asked them, it's like, do you want me to go more boyish, or is this like don't go too far? It's like, you don't have to go too far, because your character is a little bit less mature sounding than the other 2 anyway, so to make sure we have a difference, like, don't go too far from the girl voice. You can actually stay a little bit closer. It's like, oh, all right.
Well, I was excited because Stars is my favorite Sailor Moon season, and I think because there's so much creativity, I really like the Starlights. So finally, for me, that fan, because when Sailor Moon came out, I was in high school, because I'm old, but I was so excited to finally hear it in English, like to have that connection that you really get from those dubs. I guess my question for you, because I know you're an advocate just from even looking at your Twitter for no censorship, how did you feel about that particular series? Because it did take so long to come to the United States, because it was the one series that everybody was afraid of bringing.
Oh yeah, I always thought to myself, that's going to be a toughie to try and censor. Yes. It's going to be real hard to censor that one. I mean, they did in other countries. They tried. Mm-hmm. But it's sort of that thing of like, you sort of accepted like that season's never going to get a dub. And then when they were like, no, we're releasing it the original way it was done. And it's like, oh crap, they're finally going to dub it. It's finally coming. And it was sort of it also felt nice to be like the only voice, because I know there was some sadness about like the Canadian cast not getting to come back. And And it's that thing of like, I get it, but also it's like, I'm also an advocate. I also dislike that whole thing. I don't like the idea of replacing someone if they're capable of doing it. I know there's certain cases where you just can't. And maybe some of it was sort of that way in this case, but some of it may not, I don't know. Sometimes it's just something you can't help, but I try to be mindful of that because I know what it feels like and it hurts. It can really hurt. And it was nice not to have that worry because it's like, well, they never dub stars, so I am the only English voice of this character, so that's okay.
Do you think that added pressure because so many fans did know about Sailor Stars for so many years? Because admittedly, most people did get it from the fan sub route, which I'm so happy it's legal because the moment it came legal, everybody got it, I think. But did that make it a challenge for you? Because you had like this pedestal in a way?
The challenge was already there for the fact that it was Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a pedigree right there. So not like it probably was too, but it already was a challenge. Be like anything Sailor Moon. It's just like that's like ooh, that's the ladder to go up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kind of, but it was more. I was already more that way just because it's like it's Sailor Moon.
And now, one thing, what do you do for hobbies outside of working?
I play a lot of D&D. Well, it's sort of work too because we are doing sort of the Critical Role style play, actual play for an audience. But I don't think of it that way. I think of it as like improv and just a chance to chill with people I like and play with people I like. It hardly feels like work. But I play every Saturday with the Unexpectables, and we're doing a Fallout campaign called Gateway, and yeah, we're running around the wasteland and trying not to get murdered by the slavers who were trying to catch us. A lot of D&D, and otherwise, yeah, I like watch a lot of horror. I write fan fiction when I feel like it. And no, we're not going to talk about that. That's mine. Nobody gets to know.
I like the fact that you do it though, even if we don't talk about it, because it's like Fight Club, you just don't talk about it.
Some people do. I mean, I know other voice actors who are fairly open that they write for it. Me, not so much. It's like I don't think I'm brave enough yet. But you guys, I'm glad you guys say you write it too, because then I don't feel like such a nerd.
But I like the fact that you do it because it gives you that creative outlet. Do you think that helps you as an actor, even though you can't technically probably use it within your craft? Do you think having that creative outlet at least helps you adapt when you're working on different roles?
Sort of. I think it's good to have something to do besides voiceover, just because if that's your only creative outlet, you start to stagnate. Like, that's why it's nice to have fan fiction and also D&D, because it's like different stuff to creatively express myself, because everyone said it's like, don't be only doing voiceover or just doing one creative thing if it's your job, because you need to have another outlet.
Oh,
no matter how much you love something, if it's a job, it's still a job, and you need something else. Well, writing's useful, though I'm not that great at writing, but I've heard it can be useful in terms of character creation. Like, I know one person who said to me, it's like, I tend to choose like a zodiac, and then I like build a character around that zodiac types with like their traits and stuff, because it helps me be like, I can make them like this and this and this, or like using that as a template. I was like, that's interesting, actually. Huh.
No, it's actually a good interesting, because I played a D&D campaign for years. My nerd cred with D&D goes back from high school in the 90s, but I love that people are making D&D cool again in a way too, because it was always the thing that we did just to get away from the cool kids, and now everybody's doing it and having fun with it.
Yeah, I played way back when with KG Tang, and that was before like Critical Role made it like explode. Mm-hmm. But it was just, among friends with just your own friends and quiet, and and it's different. It was very different the way I used to play, because I never played in character half the time, because I just didn't bother. I'd just be playing, it's like, I'm gonna roll this. I'd hardly ever acted in character, but it was like, it didn't matter, because it was just among friends and no one told me otherwise.
Oh, sure.
And then starting up with the Unexpectables people, it was like, wait, now I gotta perform, because like it's actual play and everyone else is doing it, because like, okay, I gotta be in the game now and actually in character. And once I get used to it, it's like, this is fun. I like this. I can't go back to the other way now.
I love it. I'm super jealous. I've been trying to set up a D&D campaign for years, but everybody has crazy schedules. Maybe I just need to post it on YouTube and everybody will do it.
Yeah, it helps. I guess it does. Again, I don't think of it as work. I mean, I technically do get paid for it, but which I guess helps is like, well, if you're getting paid for it, you're more tend to show up. But I mean, I just like it so much it hardly feels like work, and I just love it.
Well, I think that's the best type of work, in my opinion. Is if you truly enjoy it and it's still peaceful and fun, then why not? If you can get paid for it, why not do it? But what kind of character do you play?
Gosh, I've been to several. Our 2-year campaign just ended, and that was like the first actual play I'd done since I played with my friend KG. And in that I was a human wild magic sorceress, which they kind of had to walk me through because I was just like, that fits story-wise, okay. And then I understand, once I figured out the nitty-gritty, I was like, oh, this is like running a roulette wheel every time I cast magic. It's both chaotic, but it's great. So I was a wild magic sorceress. The main campaign of the Unexpectables had me guest for a while, and I played Celestial Warlock Azamar, which was fun. My Celestial Dad was my patron, which just worked out. It's just like, why not? That actually would be perfect.
That's awesome.
It's like my doofy stoic dad, who I loved. I was Daddy's girl because he was my big dumb Celestial Dad, and I loved him. We did a Strixhaven sponsored one-shot where I played an Owlin College of Spirits bard, I believe. Which, I want to do a bard again, but I think I want to try a different subclass, because it's like, that's alright, but I don't know if that's what sort. It depends on the character.
A bard is hard to play.
Yeah, and I played another one-shot where I was a Kenku grave cleric. Her name was Mila. She was very prickly and grumpy and didn't talk much. She would not heal you if you pissed her off enough. She'd just be like, you're not worth it. And I played a half-orc I think it was the Way of Key monk, who has not made an appearance on any live shows. It was like a character I did on another campaign way back in the KG days with a different friend. And I think that was actually Pathfinder.
Wow.
But my friend then was like, we're going to do a one-shot, but we're going to do a private one-shot when our DM comes into town. And I retooled my half-orc monk to work for 5e. And it was also the first time, it's only the only time I've played opposite to my gender, because he's a male. Which I actually really enjoyed once I got into it. I was like, this is actually fun. I should do this more. I should do more like male characters just for. And yeah, he's a good boy. He's named Dordare. He's been traumatized, but he's a good boy and he tries.
What type of social media links can people find you at?
I'm on pretty much just Twitter. I'm on, because I don't really use my Facebook for anything but like close colleagues and family and friends. I'm on Twitter at Sarah with an H and with an E, Willia, which is Williams without the MS, because I couldn't fit it. So I'm mostly there. That's a good place to find me.
Awesome. Well,
Any final words for our viewers?
Thank you if you were a fan, thank you for being a fan, and hope you guys have a great spring.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, bye.
Bye.